welcoming Prime Minister Costa to the European Parliament and to thank you for your participation in the Parliamentary Week that we are organising together with the French Parliament. We have discussed a number of topics on our agenda, but of course I would like to focus on the unjustified and illegal Russian invasion of Ukraine and our common European response. 2 points to highlight. First, we need to boost our investment in defence and build a real security and defence union. I'm also very pleased to see the level of commitment of your government, of your country, in welcoming so many Ukrainian refugees in your country and also ensuring to be part and parcel with a common, united, coherent response of our Union. Prime Minister Costa knows this House very well, both as Member and Vice President, but also after a very active and successful presidency, notwithstanding the pandemic challenges, and I look forward to continuing our collaboration during our future conversations also in the European Council.
Thank you. Queria agradecer à Presidente Roberta Metsola esta oportunidade de termos esta reunião e o convite para participar nesta conferência sobre o futuro da governação económica da Europa. Estamos, obviamente, num momento muito difícil, a sair da crise do Covid e já a enfrentar uma guerra. E temos que aprender com as lições desta última crise. A Europa tem que se manter unida, cada vez mais forte, para termos capacidade de responder aos nossos maiores desafios. Os maiores desafios neste momento são solidariedade com a Ucrânia. Apoiar a Ucrânia para que a paz regresse rapidamente, apoiar a Ucrânia na reconstrução do seu país após esta guerra destrutiva e assegurar apoio e proteção internacional a todos os ucranianos que procuram neste momento na Europa a proteção. Temos, por outro lado, que responder àquilo que são as consequências económicas e sociais desta guerra em todos os nossos países. Temos de rapidamente adotar medidas que permitam controlar a subida dos preços, em particular dos combustíveis, em particular das matérias-primas, em bens essenciais, designadamente para a alimentação. Temos que ser capazes de, tal como fizemos com o Covid, dar uma forte resposta que devolva confiança às empresas e que lhes permitam manter a atividade. O que aconteceu no Covid foi que houve uma crise da procura e que exigiu de todos nós um grande suporte às empresas para manterem os postos de trabalho, mesmo quando estavam encerrados. Neste momento, o que nós temos que dar apoio às empresas é para que elas possam ter condições para poderem continuar a laborar, não obstante os brutais aumentos de custos em matérias energéticos e de matérias-primas. Onde antes financiámos o layoff, agora temos de financiar a aquisição de matérias-primas e o funcionamento normal das empresas para que não se atrase a recuperação económica que estava em curso e que temos de conseguir levar por diante. E, nesse ponto de vista, a cooperação entre os governos, o Parlamento Europeu e os Parlamentos Nacionais é absolutamente fundamental. Sorry.
No, he's coming. Okay.
I'd like to start by thanking President Roberta Metsola for the opportunity to have this meeting and also for the invite to be involved in the ongoing work looking towards the future of Europe. This is a very difficult moment for the European Union. We are coming out of the COVID crisis and now facing the crisis of the war in Ukraine. We must learn the lessons from the COVID crisis, and those lessons were that the EU needed to be unified and stand in unity to help us address the challenges that we now face. The major challenge, has to be said, is ensuring solidarity with Ukraine. Above all, to achieve peace in Ukraine, to support them in the reconstruction of the country, and also to provide the necessary support and international protection for those people who have left Ukraine. Secondly, we also need to look at the economic and social consequences of the war in Ukraine. We need to be able to control inflation and the rising costs of fuel, but also of key raw materials. We need to be able to show a strong response right now so the businesses have the confidence in the economy. The COVID crisis led to a crisis of demand where we had to support workers with furlough schemes. Now we need to support businesses to allow them to continue operating despite the increase in costs. In the past it was furlough, now it's dealing with raw materials and fuel costs. And from that point of view, the EU needs to and has been working together with national parliaments and the European Parliament to achieve this.
Thank you. Sorry.
So, a question for Madam President, if I may. How do you foresee the position of the European Parliament on the debate about an eventual financial package to mitigate the effects of the war in Ukraine? Para o Primeiro-Ministro português em português, amanhã vai encontrar-se em Roma com colegas seus, na sexta-feira. O que é que esta reunião vai abordar e se espera que dela saia uma posição comum sobre o tema que vão abordar, evidentemente?
So the question was, the Prime Minister will be meeting in Rome on Friday. What outcomes does he expect from that meeting?
So, first of all, thank you for the question. The European Parliament has, from the very beginning of this war, been extremely quick to make sure that any request and obligation of this Parliament is fulfilled. First of all, when it came to decisions on macro-financial assistance. And next week, we will be voting also on the financial aid to be given to member states but also to neighbouring countries with regards to the reception of hundreds of thousands of refugees from Ukraine, and that is something that the European Parliament is directly involved in as a financial authority. But also from a logistical perspective, we have identified premises on this building, precisely Station Europe, which will be granted to help with the community of Ukrainians that are abroad in order to coordinate the work that they need. And we are in constant contact with the Ukrainian Parliament, the Verkhovna Rada, in order for us to make sure that we can continue to help them with their continuity of work, both in terms of technical hardware but also in terms of cybersecurity expertise.
Bom, a Cimeira de sexta-feira visa preparar o Conselho Europeu da próxima semana e centra-se sobretudo na questão dos preços da energia e como atuar de uma forma rápida para controlar os preços. Como sabe, o Primeiro-Ministro Mitsotakis escreveu uma carta a semana passada com um conjunto de propostas para a fixação de um preço máximo. Houve já propostas do Governo espanhol no sentido de haver uma alteração do mecanismo de fixação de preços, deixando de indexar o preço da eletricidade ao preço do gás. Portugal já propôs que houvesse uma liberalização para podermos ter uma redução geral das taxas do IVA sobre a energia e, portanto, queremos ter uma proposta comum para apresentar ao Conselho, para apresentar à Comissão, de forma a podermos ter uma resposta tão rápida quanto possível em algo que é urgente, que é poder tranquilizar as famílias quanto à estabilização dos seus preços e garantir às empresas condições de produção que não atrasem o processo de recuperação que estava em curso, que está em curso e que tem estado a ser tão bem sucedido.
In the summit on Friday, we will be preparing for the Council meeting the week after, focused above all on energy prices and how to react to the ongoing increase in energy prices. A range of proposals were put forward last week, above all looking at a ceiling or a top for energy prices. Spain has suggested the indexation, removing the indexation between electricity and gas prices. We, from Portugal, have also spoken about liberalisation and points around the VAT, which is added to gas prices. Above all, we want a common proposal that we can put to the European Council and the European Commission to provide a rapid response to support those families and, that are being affected by this crisis, and also those businesses which are so vital for the economic recovery. Thank you.
Sr. Primeiro-Ministro, começava por aproveitar, falou em soluções comuns, mas alguns parceiros já avançaram com reduções do IVA do preço da eletricidade. O que é que explica que Portugal continua à espera da Comissão Europeia? And, Madam President, you mentioned next week's debate. The European Commission has presented their communication on energy prices and other proposals to reduce energy dependency. Do you think that the measures that have been proposed are enough, or there should be further measures in the future? Thank you.
Prime Minister, you spoke about common solutions for the energy prices. Some partners have already taken steps to reduce the amount of VAT on energy. Is Portugal waiting for a response from the European Commission on this?
Em primeiro lugar, nós já adotámos as medidas que, do ponto de vista nacional, podem ser adotadas sem intervenção da Comissão Europeia. Por isso, desde esta semana, temos em prática já o mecanismo de reduzir no imposto sobre os produtos petrolíferos no igual montante do aumento da receita em IVA em virtude da subida do preço. Não comento o que os outros países decidiram. As regras são claras, a alteração das taxas de IVA requer a autorização da Comissão, já o solicitámos, e o que pedimos à Comissão foi que, mais do que cada Estado ter que estar a pedir a alteração, que a Comissão liberalize durante um período temporário que isso aconteça. Como se recorda, o ano passado, há 2 anos, nós já obtivemos uma autorização da Comissão para reduzir a taxa do IVA sobre a eletricidade em função dos níveis de consumo, de forma a que fosse não só financeiramente sustentável, mas também, sobretudo, fosse uma medida amiga do ambiente, que não incentivasse o sobreconsumo de energia, mas que permitisse que a redução do IVA fosse tanto maior quanto menor fosse o consumo de energia, de forma a podermos ter uma política coerente com os objetivos do Green Deal.
At the national level, we'd already adopted those measures that can be taken, and this week we have a mechanism which links VAT reduction and tax reduction on electricity and energy being produced from oil or gas sources. In relation to measures being taken in other countries, obviously I can't comment, and for reduction of VAT specifically in this area, that is something that needs to come from the European Commission. We have already put that request in. We've asked for a temporary liberalisation of VAT on energy prices. This is something that has been done in the past. We have seen reductions on VAT in electricity. It was linked to the levels of consumption to create a policy which was environmentally friendly, and obviously this is in line with the goals of the Green Deal.
To follow on what the Prime Minister just said, he also referred earlier to a proposal of the Greek Prime Minister, Kyriakos Mitsotakis, which is being brought forward also by a number of countries in order to reflect the reality on the ground, that we are facing energy prices that are exploding. This is in the immediate term. Our consumers need replies, our consumers need measures, and governments need the necessary flexibility in order to take them through the next difficult months. It was already going to be difficult in a post-pandemic scenario, let alone now, when at the same time, and here the communication of the Commission is being very closely studied, that at the same time we need to look at jump-starting our re-diversification of our energy mix, how much dependent, still dependent, some countries 100% dependent on gas from Russia. That has to be the starting point of our decoupling from such dependence, and looking forward, investing in renewables and allowing for the structural flexibility to be given for member states to be able to take this through. This will be a very difficult period. We're also sometimes focusing only on member states. We forget to look at also countries in the neighbourhood of Ukraine that are facing unbelievable challenges. Moldova comes to mind in this regard, in creating the humanitarian green corridors for hundreds of thousands of Ukrainians entering their countries. We also need to make sure that the necessary assistance goes to their countries in order for their systems not to collapse and for their citizens to continue to be able to rely on the services that the government already with difficulty was facing challenges to provide.